Hey, what's up everybody? It's your boy Tilo Mac coming at you with another video. In this video, we got another roster review, and it's from my boy Hadamard. And if I'm saying it wrong, bro, just let me know either in the Discord or the comments. I tried. I must have took about at least 5 minutes trying to pronounce it, put it into Google, see what Google said. But I think I'm saying it right, but let me know. But let's get to this roster review. Right off the rip, I can notice that you're getting number 1 in fleet, so that's not something that we really have to concern ourselves with. That's where the majority of your crystals are coming from. However, when it comes to arena, we definitely got a little more improvement that we could get, but with your roster, you can definitely see improvement within the next couple of weeks or months, especially with what you have. But yeah, other than that, you got a great roster. From just looking at it, this is a perfect opportunity to have an awesome roster. You don't have a lot of bloated characters. The only one that I see that is maybe a little too high, but I get you though, bro, because Qui-Gon Jinn is maybe a little too high gear level, but Qui-Gon Jinn is an awesome character. I don't blame you. Everybody wants an awesome Qui-Gon Jinn. That's a character that definitely deserves a rework for how awesome he is in the movies and in lore. But when it comes to this game, he's not the best though. But other than that, all your top characters, I can definitely see that maybe you need a couple stars, especially on your boss and stuff like that. But at a 1.4, you're doing great. And definitely want to continue to get those stars, especially on those characters. I really encourage you to look on other people's rosters, make sure that you compare yourself with them, look at their top characters and really see what are the best characters that they're relicking and gearing up. Those are the characters you want to emulate on your own roster. But the one thing I am seeing is that you do bloat yourself just a little bit, and this is something I would stop. If you're not using a character in GAC or Arena, I would not put gear on him at all. I would keep him at gear 0. And especially if at lower star levels, if you're not using them, do not put gear on him. That's just extra GP, and that will affect your GAC matchups. But other than that, you have an awesome roster, and I'm really envious because you're at that crucial point where you can really set yourself up for the future and now when it comes to GAC. And that's something that you really want to focus on. And right here, I'm going to look at your speeds. I know it's a younger account, so speeds are a little bit everywhere. Just make sure you're really farming for those speed mods. So speed mods are going to come in clutch. And also, you want to make sure you have speed on your Thrawn. You almost have him at 7 stars. That's something that I would really focus on doing, is getting him to 7 stars and putting a lot of speed on him, because that's really going to come in handy on pretty much any squad, especially at your level. And right here, right off the rip, we're going to take a look at your 501st first. And didn't mean to say it like that, but that's how it came out. I would definitely try to put your arc to G12 eventually. When you do get a chance, that's really going to help his damage. And you're going to see a real boost in viability with that squad once you put that on there. But other than that, it's still a very viable squad. You got that Zeta on 5, so that's really a big help to them. And I would see if you can. I don't know how your roster works, if you can farm Shaak Ti, but if you can, that's going to be a definite help to this squad, because that gives them a very viable and good leader that you can put all these clones under. Alright, and next up is going to be your Bounty Hunter squad. And right here, I'm looking at your Bounty Hunter squad. They're not really developed yet, but this is something that I would definitely maybe not make a true priority, but definitely look at, because the Bounty Hunters are a really key squad for getting different characters such as Chewie and other events. Is definitely a team that I would invest a little bit into. Maybe not my first priority, like I said, but it's definitely something I would put on the list. You definitely need to put stars on your boss right away. Also, I would gear up your Boba, your Jango eventually, and also you need to farm Dengar. Dengar is maybe not on that tier list where he's the top like a Boba, Jango, and a Bossk, but he's definitely the next tier down, and he's a lot better than Cad Bane, Greedo, IG-88, and that's definitely somebody that you would want on your squad. But other than that, I would maybe even suggest that you have Greek Karga. You can throw him in the squad as well, and that's boom. That's a good squad right there. You're your Bounty Hunters. Just make sure you put a little gear on them. But remember, just don't make them a priority right off the rip. Maybe do a couple things before you touch these. Alright, next up I'm going to take a look at your droids. There's really not much to see here. other than maybe try to get more stars on your R2, because R2 is a really nice character to have. But also, if you're seeing General Grievous in your fleet store, make sure you're already starting to buy those shards. General Grievous is a hard character to come by because he's only in a couple places. But if you're already buying his shards now, that's really going to help you in the future. And that's a really good leader that you could put on defense. And especially at your GP, that's going to help you a lot. So make sure you're buying his shards whenever you see them. Save a little bit in your bank and buy them up. All right, right here, we're going to look at your Empire. Your Empire looks good. I'm not going to lie. You already have Vader at G12. That's going to be real nice. I would suggest that when you get a chance, put the Zeta on him, his Merciless Massacre. That's really going to increase his viability even more, especially at your GP. I would definitely consider maybe putting a little bit of more gear, maybe a G11, G12 on your EP. And I would this is one of the things that you have two things I really want you to focus on, but one of them is to make sure you get that last star on your Thrawn. He's such a good character, and it's needed. You need to get that guy geared up to G12 and starred up, and he's really going to help you guys out when it comes to your GAC, and who knows, even your arena, he might help you out as well. Also, this is another thing, I know I said it before when I was looking at your roster overview, but stop gearing characters that you're not going to use. If you're not going to use those Imperial Troopers, I don't know if you are using them, but especially at that star level, this is something that I would just really hold back on. If you don't have them 7-star, don't gear them up. Unless they're a character that has viability even at a low star, I would not gear them up because that's just bloated GP. But other than that, your Empire looked great, and continue doing what you're doing. All right, right here, I'm going to take a look at your Ewoks. Don't work on them, but make sure you're slowly but surely putting the stars on, so when it's time to gear them up, you're ready for it. But what I am going to tell you is whenever you see low grade stars in the event or the event page, I don't know what page he's at, but wherever he's available, I'll send you in the Discord where it is. Make sure you're buying them up, because that's an extremely hard character to get, and if you're not focused right off the beginning, it's going to take some time. You might have the rest of them geared up, but if you don't have the low grade shards, it's really going to hold you back, and he's a character with those Ewoks that you're definitely going to need in the future when you go for C-3PO. All right, right here, when it comes to your first order, you definitely have all the stars, which is really nice on the characters that you have right here. Eventually you are going to need more for Supreme Leader Kylo, but that's way down the line. This might be a team that you eventually want to work on in the future. It's not something I would really prioritize right now, but just by having the stars, it really sets you up for success in the future. And maybe I would put it under the bounty hunters, because the bounty hunters are needed earlier, but this is definitely something that I would work on maybe down the line. All right, and next up, I'm going to look at your Galactic Republic, and right here I don't really see anything that you need to work on necessarily. Obviously you don't have Padme or GK yet, but that's something that comes down the line. But your Jedi Knight Anakin is someone that I would work on, just because when you do get Jedi Knight Revan, you can even throw him into the squad. You can even throw him into the Clone Squad for the time being as well, and that really packs a punch on either squad, and that's a character that you can use even in solo situations in your GAC. And that's someone I would gear up definitely and focus on getting their stars out, and he has an awesome ship as well. Alright, next up we're going to take a look at your Geos, and I'm seeing that you have G12 on your soldier and you have Poggle at 7 stars, but you don't have the rest of the Geos. That's something that I would focus on maybe second on your priority list before bounty hunters, is getting your Geo squad running, just because that's going to help you when it comes to your fleet arena, and also it provides an awesome team when it comes to GAC, putting them on defense, especially at your GP range. It's going to cause a lot of problems for your opponent and may even get you the victory. And next up, we're going to take a look at your Jedi, and your Jedi look okay. The one thing that I do see right off the rip is you do not have 7 stars on your Jolee. That's a priority right off the rip. That's going to be one of the number one things that you're going to focus on, is getting your Jolee all the way up to 7 stars and geared up to G12. Same thing with your Bastila. I would try to get her to G12 as well. If you have to keep her at G11 for a while, that's fine, but Jolee is somebody that is super important that you need to get to G12 and 7 stars right away. Alright, next up, we're going to take a look at your Night Sister squad, and your Night Sister squad is almost there. You just need to make sure you're trying to get those stars on those characters, and the 5 that I would focus on would be Mother Talzin, Asajj, Daka, Spirit, and Zombie. Those are the ones that I would focus on and I would try to get geared up, but I would put them on the back burner for now. I would put them right behind, it hurts me to say it, but right behind Bounty Hunters, just because Bounty Hunters are needed for a lot of different events, a lot of different things, that I would focus them instead of the Night Sisters. But once you get those done, focus on your Night Sisters. It's an awesome team that you can use either on offense or defense, and that's something that you're definitely going to want in your roster. All right, right here we're going to look at Phoenix. Phoenix is something that I really want you to focus on first. This is the number one thing I want you to focus on, is getting these geared up so you can get 7 stars on your Thrawn. And when it comes to Thrawn, the event, you want to make sure that your Ezra is geared. I would gear him a little bit more than the others, and I would try to go in there as low as possible, but just get it done once. As long as you get it done and you get 7 stars, you don't have to do the event. But Phoenix is not some team that I would invest heavy on. I wouldn't even try to get a lot of them to G11, maybe G9, G8. Ezra is one character that you can get a little bit higher to help you out in the event, because he is good on other squads other than the Phoenix, but the rest of them is, I would just try to keep him as low as possible, but try to get 7 stars on your Thrawn right away, just because he is such an awesome character. Alright, next we're going to look at the other rebels, the rebels in general, and when I'm looking at it, I definitely see that you're very close to getting CLS. CLS is an awesome character that you're definitely going to want on your roster. Definitely farm all these characters and their shards passively, because a lot of them are available in stores. That's definitely something that I would put as a priority when it comes to the store shard farm, and definitely get CLS as fast as you can, because you can do a lot of different farming while you're still farming for CLS also. We're going to take a look at your resistance right here, and this is something that we covered a little bit earlier, but this is just bloating of your account. Just try not to put gear on characters that you're not using, especially these resistance, especially the ones you have right here. They're not very useful unless they're under a JTR or a Galactic Legends Ray. So right here I would definitely stop gearing these up. You can definitely go for their shards and try to star them up so you can eventually get JTR, but this is something that I wouldn't really prioritize, because you have other things that I would prioritize more than this. Alright, right here, the Scoundrels, I'm not really looking for much. What I am looking for is Nest, and you don't have Herb, so this is another reason why I would go for the Bounty Hunter squad, just so you can get Jango's, Bosk's ship, and that's really going to help you get to Nest Shard and eventually farm her up. And she's going to be really useful, especially at your GP, able to solo a lot of different things, so I would definitely put her as a priority list, but by doing that, we're going to prioritize Bounty Hunters. Alright, we're going to look at your Separatist right here. I know we talked about it in all the other categories as well, but one thing I would definitely focus on is trying to get Newt shards from the Galactic War store. But obviously I would continue to go with the CLS first as a priority over the Newt. That's something that I definitely would work on, as well as B1, B2, Droideka, and Magma. I know you have some Magma shards, but I would continue to farm those. Eventually, that's going to be a really good team, but you can do that passively eventually when you do get the Chime, because you don't have a GG squad yet, or that GG character to put them under. So that's definitely I would put on my radar and put it on my to-do list to do in the future though. Next up is going to be your Sith, and when it comes to your Sith, I would definitely want to farm Nihilus and Scion. You have other stuff you need to prioritize first, but that's definitely something I would also put on the list. I know I'm adding a lot to your list, but these are just key characters that you're eventually going to need and are going to help you out a lot. But one thing I really would focus on over maybe even Scion and Nihilus is your Darkside Bastila, because that's a character that you can even throw into your EP squad that's really going to bolster it up and make it even stronger. And Bastila is such a good character. She does not only need to be under a Darth Revan team to really shine and show her worth, so that's a character that I really would focus on farming for you, especially in your GP range. Alright, and next up, this is going to be your, I want to say your most important thing to farm, but this is obviously going to be your second one, because Thrawn is the #1 priority right now, but as a close second, even a rival to #1, is going to be your Old Republic. You need to start farming these as quickly as possible, and you could do this at the same time you're gearing up your Phoenix a little bit so you can get your Thrawn. But this is going to be extremely important, because this is the ability that's going to help you to get Jedi Knight Revan. Jedi Knight Revan, especially at your GP range, is really going to boost you up in the arena, and this is going to help you get even more crystals, so you're able to do even more things to your roster and really help it grow. And these are the characters that are needed for it. But notice I do not have gear on my T3. T3 is not a character that you really need a lot of gear on to complete this event. You're gonna see that's what a gear I have on my T3 now, and that's the gear that I had on them when I did the event. I really kept them low, so that's not something that I really needed to prioritize. Obviously when I did the event there was not relics available. I had them at G12, but that's characters that you're going to want at G12 anyways, just because those characters are used under the Jedi Knight Revan squad. Even when it comes to Mission and Zaalbar, they're really great characters. If you want to get them to G11, they're still going to help you in different aspects of your game, especially in GAC. So I would suggest even gearing them up. If you don't have enough gear, then that's completely fine as well. Just do as best as you can, but definitely want to make sure that you have gear on your Jolee and your Bastila. That's going to do it for your roster review. If you have any questions at all, hit me back up in the Discord. If you want any more insight on what you should be doing or any more questions at all, hit me up in the Discord. I'll make sure I'll get to you. And yeah, if you want your own roster review, if you liked what you've seen here, definitely join the Discord. Link is going to be down below in the description, and I'll definitely get it done. It might be a minute, so don't hold me to maybe a couple days, but I'll definitely get it done, and we'll have your roster review out as well. And if you guys like what you see, make sure you hit that like button, comment, sub to the channel, and I'm going to catch you on the next one. Peace.